Hello, and welcome to Kerbol Space Program. So, last time here at Spud Space Agency, we did a flyby of E.V.E. It went fairly well, aside from making the astronauts arbitrarily orbit around E.V.E. for about 9 years before they could get home. So, our current mission today is to explore E.V.E. by orbiting E.V.E. But just sending a ship to orbit is a little bit boring. So I did actually, in a sandbox save file, go back to that mission and attempt to fly that craft again. It went way better, with a better ascent, so I had a lot more fuel. I got a better transfer window, and I actually did manage to circularize an orbit and then get back home with way fuel left than what I had with the other one. So I'm fairly confident that I can do that. So as you can see here, I've actually just changed into the spaceplane hangar because I'm going to try and build a rover. And I've not done a rover before, so I'm not entirely sure what I need. Okay, so I've just got a little frame with a probe core and some wheels. I'm not overly confident that these wheels are going to be good enough. So maybe go spend some of my science. Let's see how this drives though. It's not too bad. It can turn, it can drive. Oh, and we're already out of electric charge. Okay, so we'll definitely need plenty of batteries. Okay, so I've put some batteries on, a couple of solar panels just for testing, and some science stuff. Let's see how this drives. No, it drives okay. But I guess this is on a very flat sort of runway, so... I see. Okay, right. I've got 1,000 science to play with. What can I get? Well, as much as I'd love to get myself the RTGs, it's a little bit out of my price range, unfortunately. But I can get this field science, which does give me some better wheels, which would be nice. Oh, and then this is the sort of rover probes core, I think. Okay, well, we're going to unlock that. And I might unlock this so that I've got the fold-up communitron of the highest levels to make sure that I don't lose connection to Kerbin whilst I'm on E.V.E. Okay, so let's get rid of these tiny little wheels. And let's try with these ones, I guess. And I also want to make sure I've got this on there. I'm a little worried about the size of this thing, but I guess we'll get to that when it comes to it. Oh, I got the probe. Okay, that's much nicer. Right, let's start from scratch again then. Okay, so we've got a little Diddy rover now, using the rover probe core as the base. The much bigger wheels, which are a lot quicker. Oh my god. I think I've managed to fit all the science sort of things that I'd need on it. I've gone with a smaller scanning arm, just because I figured might as well. How's our electric charge doing? Okay, so I mean, that one looks like it's fine for here, but it maybe won't work on E.V.E. How's this thing? I think that's going to be a bit overkill, to be fair. Hey, this thing can go pretty quick, though, which is nice. Still very easy to flip over, though, so that is a worry. Has this got reaction wheels? No, it doesn't. Okay. I wonder if it's worth putting on a weak little reaction wheel just to flip us over if we start to fall. Could be useful. Put a small inline reaction wheel there. Get rid of that. Let's call it the E.V.E. Transgress Rover. When we can switch it over to the vehicle assembly building. Now, the bigger problem really is going to be how to get it down to E.V.E. safely, which is a big problem. So I briefly mentioned it last video, but to my knowledge, E.V.E. has a massively thick atmosphere, and it takes a lot to not burn up in it. Do I have the massive? You also don't have the huge heat shields. I think that means I actually can't land on E.V.E. I'm fairly certain trying to do that without those isn't going to go well. Okay, so after popping over to the research bases, I managed to get a decent amount of science, and the only thing I have unlocked is that heavy landing, which has given me these heat shields, which are expanding ones. If I just quickly whack that on the bottom there. So that expands to a massive amount, which should slow us down in Eve's atmosphere and also hopefully protect us from burning up in the massively thick atmosphere. So I think that should be okay for my rover. Okay, cool. So in this fairing, I've got the rover with a little bit of fuel just to deorbit it, and then the heat shields, and then the relay that's just going to stay around in space, hopefully. Now let's build a rocket that can send it up, I guess. Okay, so let me run you through the rocket. So, first stage, we've got the main sail and then these two twin bores going off, which is all of this stage. There's also the fuel lines to keep the main fuel tank full. Then all these separatons will fire, these will come off, and then we'll just have the main tank for a while. Then once that's used up, that'll separate, and then we've got this stage, which should hopefully be able to get us out of atmosphere and circularize or orbit around Kerbin. And then once we're out of the atmosphere, we don't need the fairing anymore, so that can blow off. Then separate that off to give us the stage to transfer us over to Eve. Then after that, we have the Poodle engine to finish our transfer and circularize us around Eve. And then it's up to these stages with the little spark engines to keep us in orbit for the relay and to deorbit us for the rover. This ship is quite large. I'm not exactly hopeful of how well this is going to launch, but we'll give it a go. I'm going to preemptively put these on because I don't think there's any chance of it taking off without them. Save this and let's go and get an Eve transfer window. Okay, so here we are with this ridiculous rocket on the launch pad. Doesn't actually look that crazy now that I've got it up here, so that's not too bad. No idea how well it's going to fly, but I guess we'll find out. 3, 2, 1, launch. Okay, take 2. Turn SAS on. Then put the throttle up. Can always turn it down if I need to. Okay, and launch again. That's better. So, I forgot I tried to autosave and accidentally turned off my recording, but we do have a transfer window. I did download an app on my phone to try and be a protractor to see, so hopefully. Oh dear. So the reason I've just paused, if you haven't realized, is I appear to be controlling it from the rover, which is going to cause all kinds of issues. So I need to control it from the probe core that's at the top, not the probe core that's in the rover. Well, it wouldn't be a Spud Space Agency launch without something going wrong on the first attempt at a takeoff. Or the first couple attempts at a takeoff, I guess. So I have rerouted the ship so that the main control point is the probe core that's at the top. So we should be all good. Let's launch again. I have also gone into advanced tweakables and enabled auto strut. So hopefully my rockets from now on will be slightly less wobbly. Cool, off go those. Didn't smash into me, which is always a nice little bonus. Cool, and we're on to our circularization stage. Even with fairly inefficient orbit, it's actually going fairly well, I think, in terms of I'm hitting what I was hoping to do. Cool. And there we are. So we've got a nice circular orbit. Add a maneuver node. And let's scroll out. So set Eve as our target. We want smaller orbits. So typically we want to be leaving this way. And there's those lines there. And basically just cue me fiddling about with maneuver nodes to get these as close together for a long time. Or I can just, fiddle about with it and accidentally get an encounter. Alright then, I'll take that. Guess we'll give that a go. Cool, and we can also deploy our fairing. See our little rover there? I'm going to be very sad if this is a really good launch, but the rover just burns up on entry into Eve. But let's face it, it's probably how it's going to go. Oh, I tried to save things, so I've lost engine sounds. And I'm just watching this number to get it as close as possible. And there we go, an encounter. Why are these wheels turning? What is happening? What are you doing? Why is this trying to flip over? What is giving this? Are these spinning wheels giving it like gyroscopic action or something? No, they can't be. I was wondering why it was being really odd trying to finish off that maneuver then. I kept trying to turn it a little bit more towards the target and it just wasn't wanting to. Well, we've got an encounter. Let's quick save and just get rid of this bottom stage. Are we still just spinning? We are. Why are we just spinning? What is happening? Why is my yaw all the way down here? Have I like changed a control scheme or something? Okay, so a quick search on the Kerbal Space Program subreddit. Apparently, if you hold down Alt and Directions, it adds a trim for planes or something like that. I've managed to reset it though, so let's turn my reaction wheels back on. Okay, there we go. That was very strange for a few moments there though. So we have our encounter with E.V.E. I'm going to set up a mid-course correction when we're about halfway there. Let's try and get this a little bit better of an encounter. And now let's warp on over to our mid-course correction. The usual thing happened where I forgot to extend my solar panels, so I ran out of electric charge as soon as I started time warping. So we need to plot our mid-course correction again. Cool, and then this time let's quick save before doing the time warp. Cool, and here we are time warping away again. Oh dear, I sped up far too much then. Let's hope this is still okay. Thankfully it's such a short burn. It should, I think, be alright. Sweet, 150,000. Now let's make sure we can get captured. I mean, looking at our fuel, I can't see there being an issue with that, as I've basically got an entire extra stage. Actually, to be fair, it's going to cost me a lot to slow down, so I think I've planned it not too badly. And here we are. And let's start our capture burn. There we go. That's an orbit around E.V.E. complete. Let's take this opportunity to quickly pop back to the Space Center. And let's have a look at mission control and see it is. Okay, splash down into the oceans. I don't really want to do that, to be honest. Maybe if I cheese it and I drive the rover into an ocean slightly. Either way, let's accept that, because we're going to be at least entering the atmosphere. So I know we're using a lot of fuel to bring us down close, but like I said, I accounted for using a lot of fuel, so... Burn time 27 minutes. No, thank you. Let's boost that back up again. And let's start bringing that orbit right down. Cool. So that's that aligned in. And if we can just bring that in slightly as well, give us a really nice circular orbit around. Cool. Well, now let's try and pick a landing area. It's a little difficult to try and see into E.V.E. exactly where you want to land, but... So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick a place to deorbit, start the deorbit, and then I can decouple everything, swap to the probe one, and then boost that back up into an orbit. So I believe even 5 kilometers into the atmosphere will be enough to get me captured, because the atmosphere is that thick. Kind of want to try and aim for just into daybreak, maybe? Maybe a little bit sooner. Actually, probably should have done a lot sooner. Let's just do it now. I'm doing it far more steep than I probably should be, but it's to try and get me near the coast, I'm hoping. So let's lose this bottom stage, and then I also want to lose this first stage, and then I just want to make sure that I don't crash this orbit. And now for the really scary part. Already starting to heat up, flipping heck. Right, let's just inflate this one as well. And now we just hope that we don't burn up entering this atmosphere. I don't think I should have jettisoned that just yet. That's a bit spooky. Don't like this. This is terrifying. Do I just want to get rid of this? I'm doing it. Oh no! Oh no! Right. Cool, and then let's decouple that, decouple that. I can just detach that already, and this time I'm just going to keep these attached for a little bit longer. The problem is it creates so much drag that it's smashing into my parachutes. Well, at this point, we're basically just falling straight down. Wow. This takes a very long time then, because I'm still 30 kilometers and we're already going this slow. Oh, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. I think that just sped me up with the spinning. What blew up? Oh, I lost a tire again. Cool. So, attempt number 3, I think. I recorded the rest of this yesterday, and then I had to go to work. So, let's try and pick up where I left off. I don't know why I just burnt randomly then. I didn't actually want to do that. I just panicked and didn't wait for an actual time. Oh, that's a great start, isn't it? Okay, so I think my plan this time was to jettison the heat shield and open the parachutes as soon as I'm going slow enough to, as to hopefully not have the heat shield slam back into me. Right, let's try this again, shall we? It is ridiculous how quickly you start just slowing down. Right, let's try this. Yep. That's not good. Parachutes? Ooh. Did we lose anything? We've got solar panel, science, communitron. I'm not going to extend that because I'm worried it will tear off. Hopefully going to be okay with this descent. I've truly no idea, but we've not lost a wheel this time, so guess it's just to see how we land now. I am far too terrified to time warp, so I'm not going to do that. As expected, we have gone way too far previous from what I was hoping to do, which was get to the ocean. That's going to be a hell of a drive if that even works. Wow, this is going to take a very long time. Oh, hello. Apparently the clouds loaded. Everything went purple. Well, there's the surface. Oh, this is exciting. First surface of a new planet. Oh. Oh wow, we have slowed down to a crawl. And that's not even got the main parachutes open yet. Oh look! There's our heat shield in the background. I'm just staring at this heat shield as it's falling to the ground now. Oh, there we go. Oh wow, we really have slowed to a crawl. Right, okay, I think at this speed I am going to risk time warping because, wow, this is going to take forever otherwise. Probably could have been doing it from earlier, but paranoia. Oh. And here we go. No, 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 no. That was... I didn't like that. Well, we're landed. Will it let us extend this? Oh, it will. And that gives us a connection, right. Oh, nearly. Hey, whoa, 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 what, wait. Why? wait, what? I don't understand. Was it just something weird with the reaction wheel? Why the wheel? Oh no, is that just because I'm on a hill? I'm so annoyed we've lost our scanning arm as well, because it just decided to freak out. Well, that was a little bit mental. I'm really annoyed that it just randomly flipped over, but I'm also not particularly willing to go through that whole landing again just to get some rover data that I probably won't be able to do, but... Oh no, the solar panel's broken, what? Oh. Okay, that one maybe is a game changer. Why? I don't understand why it just decided to freak out for a few minutes. Right, well, let's... I'm so annoyed, but if I leave it like this, I'm just going to be even more annoyed, so let's do that again. Oh, as if we're back up here after waiting so long to land. At least, I guess we know what to do to land properly. Like, part of me feels like I should have just left the rover and done a better launch, you know, a better protected rover or something, taken it as a learning experience, but I've put so much into trying to get this work. I'd rather it be missing a wheel than, you know, the solar panels. So, once again, maybe on my next rover I'll add like some kind of landing platform to then drop it down and deploy it from, so it doesn't have to deal with that. Dislike this. Damn it! Broken. Why? Oh, well, something broke. A lot of things broke. Well, something broke. But it wasn't the parachute. I think we have everything. I don't know what caused this to be different than the other time. I also realised that as I repeatedly kept quick saving and loading, I've just recorded so many little short clips. So I don't know what has actually been said, but basically it's just been an absolute hell of me repeatedly reloading saves, trying to get this to work. I tried going further down, but we just started spinning so much that it tore my ship apart. And then finally what has worked is I just decided to I just tried to separate it as soon as I loaded my quick save, and that's kind of worked. Things do look a little dodgy and broken, but for the most part, it's working, so I'm gonna stick with that for now. Back into the clouds. I really dislike that we appear to be landing on a fairly steep hill, but I'm gonna turn off the reaction wheels as soon as we're about to touch down and hope that that doesn't cause anything to freak out. Are you kidding me? Oh look, there's the heat shield again. Okay, I guess that I've left it to... Oh, I haven't. Cool. But, like, why? Literally, why? Genuinely, what possible reason? Why? Like, did we not all see that? It landed, it was fine, and then it was just like... This is really getting annoying. Oh. Come on! It wouldn't be annoying me if I was just going too quick and I was just slamming into the ground because I hadn't put enough parachutes on. That's my bad. I'd just call it and say, well, we failed. We know what to do next time. But the fact that I keep landing fine, I've landed completely fine twice now, and then it's just freaked out, is infuriating. Maybe turn the spring strength off? I don't even know. Oh, there we go. There we go. Is that okay? We did it! We did it! Yay! It's landed and nothing's broken. We've got solar power coming in, we've got our little scanning arm, we've got all of our science. I'm so happy. Save. Oh. Oh, well, that was an absolute trek to do. But we got here, and we've got a rover, we've got power. Oh, incredible. We did it! We landed on another planet, and nothing went wrong this time. I'm driving on another planet. This is so cool. So yeah, if you weren't aware before, this is literally my first time, I think, successfully landing on another planet. I don't even think I've made really a rover and sent it anywhere before. Oh, that's not really there. So we weren't able to complete the next contract, which was splash down into the oceans of E.V.E. However, this is the first rover I've done, and I'm super happy with that. Look at this little thing, he's so cool. And my first landing on another planet. There's every chance that by the next time I'm just going to fly another craft over to E.V.E. and drop that off, just because all I need to do is get it to splash down. I'm really hoping that they don't ask me to land a Kerbol on E.V.E. because I really don't think I have any chance of getting one back, because as far as I'm aware, it's meant to be ridiculously hard to scan volcanic rock. Oh, that's so cool. Oh, look at him, he's doing some science. No, there we go, and we got some data from that's so cool. Oh, I love that so much. Oh, I didn't think we'd be able to transmit any of that science. That's so cool. As I was saying, it's one of the hardest planets as far as I'm aware to bring someone home from afterwards. It's got a higher gravity than Kerbin, and it's also just really thick atmosphere, so it takes a lot to take back off from. So maybe though we'll be able to go and explore Gilly, which is the moon of E.V.E., so that'd be kind of cool. Either way, guys, thank you so much for watching. It was a hell of a journey because, wow, landing was stressful, but at least now I know to have a look at the sort of spring and dampener settings on these rovers if I ever come to do this again. But for now, thanks very much for watching, guys, and hope to see you next time.